Hi, I'm James, and this is Align. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how this line will help you lose weight. And you'll do it without starving yourself, without spending hours in a gym, and without taking pills, powders, potions, or any of those gimmicks. You can forget all that because, well, let's face the facts. We both know that stuff doesn't work. If it did, you wouldn't be watching this. And if you've been on as many diets as I have, you're probably nodding your head right about now. Look, what you're about to learn is like nothing you've heard or seen before. And if you watch this short video from beginning to end, I'm going to reveal to you the most overlooked secret when it comes to weight loss. The same secret I accidentally discovered that helped me shed over 36 pounds of ugly fat and kept off till this very day. In fact, if you follow my step-by-step instructions to the letter, you have no choice but to lose every last ounce of your unwanted weight. Now, wouldn't that be a secret you'd love to know? Of course it is, and we'll get to it shortly. But first, you're probably wondering, who am I and why am I preaching to you? Well, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, my name is James, and I'm not a doctor, nutritionist, or some kind of health practitioner, and I don't have any fancy letters after my name. In fact, I'm just your average guy who, until recently, had a bit of a weight problem. Heck, let's be honest, I was downright obese and desperate for a solution. And that's why I'd like to share my story with you, because, well, it's probably similar to your own. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, young or old, if you've ever struggled with your weight or felt self-conscious about your body, you're sure to relate. And not only will I share my amazing story, I'll actually give you the solution I stumbled on that helped me shrink my stomach, take several inches off my waist, and basically got me in the best shape I've ever been, and how you can easily do it too. But let's back up a bit. You see, I didn't always have size issues. Truth be told, I was actually skinny growing up. But by my early 20s, things started to change. The days of eating whatever I wanted without second thought were long gone. The weight slowly started creeping on, and fast forward 15 years later, and I was carrying an extra 40 pounds of fat. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't just let this happen. In fact, I fought it every step of the way. I'd go on whatever fad diet was in fashion at least twice a year, and on occasion hit the gym pretty hard. And sure, I'd lose a little weight, 5 pounds here, 5 pounds there, but after a few weeks I'd get tired of my routine and fall off the wagon. I'd get so down on myself for not sticking with it, but I'd always make up some excuse for not following through, then plan to start again the next week. Of course, that next week came and went and I didn't do a thing, or the week after that. As you can imagine, I'd gained back every ounce I lost and then some. And even though I'd be frustrated, oddly enough, deep down inside I still felt somewhat in control. If push came to shove, I was confident I could drop the pounds. That is, until my last dieting attempt. To this day I remember it vividly. It was early May and spring was in full bloom. The weather was gorgeous, blue sunny skies, the smell of flowers and freshly cut grass in the air, and the constant buzzing of lawnmowers as people tended to their yards. Summer could not get here soon enough. But that meant swapping sweatshirts for t-shirts. And as you probably know, t-shirts don't do such a good job of hiding an overgrown belly. Unless, of course, you opt for one so big it makes you look like you're wearing an oversized potato sack. In fact, I hated the way clothes hung over my stomach, never really resting on my pants because my big gut would get in the way. What's worse was when I try and hide it. I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but every time a pretty woman would walk by me in the street, I'd suck in my belly and hold my breath. Of course, the only thing that accomplished was to make me even more self-conscious. Sitting was another story altogether. My shirt would hug my waist and split my stomach into two rolls. I always felt that people were staring at me, especially when I'd be eating in a restaurant. Sure, I might not have been the biggest person in the room, but I definitely felt like it. And I won't even go into bending over to tie my shoes or avoiding the mirror before stepping in the shower. Let's just say those were tough moments for my self-esteem. I'm sure you get the picture. So, like all the other years around this time, I decided to get in shape. But with summer fast approaching, I wasn't about to take a chance on some fad diet. Instead, I would stick to a tried and true method, calorie counting and portion control. My plan was to eat 500 fewer calories daily and hit the gym 6 times a week. That way, I'd lose about 2 pounds every 7 days. The first week went by, and nothing. I still weighed the same. I was a bit disappointed, but didn't think much of it. I figured my body just needed some more time to adjust to the new routine. But next week came and still, not an ounce lost. By the third week, I was actually scared to step on the scale, and for a good reason. After 21 days of weighing food, eating 6 small meals a day, keeping a journal, and, not to mention, sweating like a pig on the treadmill, all I had to show for it was 1 measly pound. Can you believe it? But it gets worse because I spent the next 9 weeks losing and regaining the same 4 pounds. It's as if my metabolism had grinded to a halt. And after 3 agonizing months of spinning my wheels, I simply gave up. Remember that confidence I mentioned earlier? Instantly vanished into thin air. I never felt more hopeless about my weight and my health than at that exact moment. I was so devastated I spent an entire weekend stuffing my face. I ate everything I had shunned on my diet: pizza, ice cream, chocolate cake, potato chips, Oreos, bacon cheeseburgers, you name it. And after feasting to the point of disgust, I decided to stop feeling sorry for myself and take serious action.